Sunday for me was the worst day of all, the morning of Sunday. The tension had been building day after day. I'm not sleeping well, I wasn't thinking clearly. The best idea was for me to just stay away from the house. And for Lyle to try to talk to Mom and Dad, because it seemed like everything was about to explode. I didn't know what to do. I remember I drove around and I just stayed to myself. I went to Santa Monica. There's a church there, the Church of Good Shepherd, that I would go sometimes when I was feeling anxious, really depressed, and I needed peace. I remember being parked on the side of PCH, sitting on the hood of my car, looking out in the sunset, and it just felt like the world was ending. This gloomy despair in my heart. When I got back, it was dark. I didn't know what was going to happen. I went around the side of the house, and Lyle was waiting for me there, and he was not happy that I was still in. He wanted to leave immediately. Everything had gone terribly wrong. Dad wanted us home that night, and why did they want us home that night? It seemed like all the pieces were being put together, and it became clear to me that my parents were going to kill us.
They felt that there was nothing else that they could do in order to survive.
I was in the foyer. Lyle was coming out of the den, and my mom was following him and saying, "You're not going out." And Lyle said, "Why?" And my mom said, "Because I said so." And then my dad came out and he told my mom to shut up. He looked at Lyle and said, "You're not going out." He told me to go to my room, and he told me he would be there in a minute. And then Lyle said,
"I'm not going to touch my brother." We had a big argument. I was saying that he wasn't going to touch Erik.
Dad, he charged at Lyle and he yelled, I do what I want in my family. He's not your little brother, he's my son.
And told him to go upstairs to his room and wait while he finished his movie. My mother said that I had ruined the family. Then my dad came out and took her by the arm and we walked into the den, and then my dad closed the doors. I was sure that was it.
Lyle was just staring, and I was beginning to panic. We had made a big mistake asking to go out.
I realized that they had been waiting for Erik to get home, like I had been. And I just freaked out. Thought they were going ahead with their plan to kill us.
I felt like my heart was going to explode. It was just pounding. I felt like my life was over right then.
I ran upstairs to tell my brother it was happening now.
Everything was colliding at that moment, and my brother said,
this was it, and they were going to kill us.
And I just felt chills over my body. I remember running. I remember grabbing my gun, and I remember my hands trembling. And all I knew is that if I didn't get to those doors before Mom and Dad got out, that I was going to die. It was the only thought in my head. I couldn't breathe. I was going to die. I had seconds left, and I had to get to the den. It was like every single thing that Mom and Dad had told me, that they were going to kill me, how much they hated me. It was all happening right now.
We just burst through the doors, and I started firing. I remember seeing Shadow right off to the right, my brother over to the left.
I remember firing, and I couldn't see anything. It was just fire and darkness and this booming, exploding sounds. It was terrible.
We fired, many, many times, and you could hear things breaking, and you could hear the ringing noises from the booms and smoke from the guns. Basically, just chaos, and I really didn't know who was firing at who and what was going on. I just was, firing my gun.
It was like hell had come to the world, and I just wanted to run away, and there was nowhere to go. And afterwards, I collapsed on the stairs in the foyer.